Susie, can you do an audio and video check for me? Susie, can you do an audio and video check?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hold on one sec. I'm going to try one more thing, and I'm going to try this without speakers or without a headphone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wrong. Can you hear me? I'm not. No, you can't. All right. That failed. I'm back.
Hi, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Thanks. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Okay, Lonnie, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, it's 10:30. Are we set to go?
Yes, everybody is here and we are ready to go.
Fantastic. Good morning, everybody. My name is Susie Murray. I'm a senior planner with the City of Santa Rosa, and I am the zoning administrator today. I want to first touch on a few things. First, let's see. I want to read the code section, or the last of our virtual meetings. I'm going to give you some information. So, pursuant to Government Code Section 54953, subsection E, and the recommendation of the County Health Officer for the County of Sonoma, the zoning administrator will be participating in this meeting via a Zoom webinar. Members of the public can participate virtually by joining Zoom or by calling toll-free at 877-853-5257. The meeting ID number for this meeting is 828-7462-7915. Public accessing the meeting through Zoom can provide comments during the meeting. Comment periods. Additional information related to meeting participation is also available at srcity.org/zoning admin. The meeting will be live streamed at youtube.com/City of Santa Rosa. It's 10:32, and I'd like to call this meeting to order. At the beginning of the meeting, there's always a time for public comment. And if there's a member of the public that would like to make a comment about an item that is not on the agenda, you'll have 3 minutes to do so. If you want to raise your hand, and I'm going to let Lonnie explain how to do it if you're calling in.
If you're a member of the public wishing to make a comment, you can do so by selecting the hand icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you're calling in, please press *9. Zoning Administrator Murray, I don't see any hands raised at this time. Zoning Administrator Murray, your video has paused and I can't hear you. Zoning Administrator Murray, I'm going to suggest we go to a recess. It seems like we're having some difficulties on your end. Let's have a 2-minute recess. Zoning Administrator Murray, you're unmuted, but I can't hear you. Zoning Administrator Murray, you're unmuted. Members of the public who are in attendance this morning, apologies, we are having some technical difficulties. I'm going to take a 5-minute recess. So let's try to get this meeting going again at 10:43. Thank you.
It worked. No, I'm still black though on the screen.
Which video? A little arrow.
Can you see me and hear me now?
Yes.
Woohoo! Love technology. Okay, so I'm gonna kickstart this. Where was I? Okay, I think I was at item 2, public comment. We went through that. There is no public comment. So I'm going to get into item 3 on the agenda, which is zoning administrator business. First thing I want to tell you is my statement of purpose. The zoning administrator is appointed by the Planning and Economic Development Director and has the responsibility and authority to conduct public meetings and hearings, and to take action on applications for minor or reduced review authority projects or entitlements, which are land use permits. A determination or decision by the zoning administrator may be appealed to the Design Review Board, Cultural Heritage Board, Planning Commission, or City Council as applicable to the decision. All actions taken today may be appealed within 10 calendar days or by February 27th. If you choose to submit an appeal application, you can find the application and applicable fee on our website. You can also contact the project planner directly, or you can email planning@srcity.org. Or you can also do it the old school way and visit room 3 at City Hall. I'm also happy to announce that, especially after that last fiasco, that this will be the last Zoom meeting for the zoning administrator, at least for the foreseeable future. Beginning in March, we will be doing in-person meetings. Applicants are always encouraged to join the meeting. City staff will be in person at the meeting, and interested members of the public are encouraged also to join in person, but there will also be Zoom information for computer and phones available as well. So with that, I am going to move on to item 4, which is consent items, for which we have none. And then moving on to item 5, which is our scheduled items. The first one is a public meeting for the Timothy Road Roseland Enterprise project. It is exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. This is a design review project, and it's located at 460 Timothy Road. The minor design review is for an existing 11,520 square foot industrial building. The project consists of adding 3,882 square feet to the existing building, including a new trash enclosure, new landscaping, and exterior lighting. The project planner is Monet Shikali. Monet?
Good morning, Ms. Murray. Thank you for the introduction. I'm going to share my screen and start my presentation. Okay, let's go. Okay, you did the introduction, so I will skip to the next page. The project, as you mentioned, is at 420 Timothy Road, and the picture below here shows the existing building, which the applicant is proposing to make exterior changes to this building, adding a new 3,429 square foot addition and new trash enclosure, equipment place, which will be screened, new landscaping and exterior lighting. The applicant will pave the parking lot, stripe it, and bring it into compliance with our ADA requirements. And the property is zoned light industrial, which is consistent with the general plan land use light industry. Here is an aerial view of the project site. The building has been vacant for a while and it's not being used. So just another background, a few weeks ago or maybe months ago, there was also a conditional use permit for this project. The applicant is proposing to use this building for cannabis microbusiness uses. So there was a use permit that was approved by the Planning Commission, and this is a minor design review permit for the site. And here are just some pictures of the existing uses along Timothy Road. This area has interesting zones. On the eastern side, we have industrial uses, and on the western side, we have residential uses. So on the left side, right side here, you see industrial land uses, a warehouse, wine storage, and distribution. And on the left side, the pictures are of the residential uses on Timothy Road. And these pictures here are showing the existing site, existing landscape, parking lot, and the existing building as it stands today. And here are exterior fences and gate for the site. And here is the proposed site plan that shows the new addition in the front of the building, the striped parking lot, the buyer retention, and the trash enclosure. And actually there's also a screen wall in the back where the equipment will be placed and screened. And here is the landscape plan. The applicant is proposing to landscape and add trees and shrubs there. It's going to look much better than what it is there right now. And provide also fire access. And these are the proposed elevation of this building. And here I just want to show you the top picture for the existing building, and the lower picture is the proposed illustration of this building. And this project has been reviewed in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act and qualifies for 2 categorical exemption and 1 statutorily exempt project. Staff did not receive any comments or questions regarding the proposed project. And with that, the Planning and Economic Development Department recommends that the zoning administrator, by resolution, approve a minor design review permit for the property located at 460 Timothy Road. The applicant, Michael Napolitano, is also available today. And if you have any questions, staff and him are available to answer questions. And that was my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I will say that I have visited that site many times, and this is going to be a huge improvement. I'm going to go ahead and open up the public meeting, see if there are any members of the public that would like to comment.
If
Hi,
you're a member,
can you hear me?
Oh.
Hello?
Yes. Yes.
Hi, this is Mike Napolitano.
Oh, I'm
the
sorry. I didn't.
architect.
Yeah. I didn't realize you wanted to speak.
No, I really don't. I'm just here. If you have any questions, I can answer them.
Oh, yeah. Monet mentioned that. Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
So are there any members of the public raising their hands?
I do not see any members of the public raising their hands. Just as a reminder, if you wish to make a comment, you can do so by selecting the raise your hand icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you're calling in, please press *9. Zoning Administrator Murray, I don't see any hands raised.
Thank you very much. And my apologies to the applicant. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just made the assumption that you weren't making a presentation. I should have asked. And do you have any other comments you'd like to add, Michael? Doesn't sound like it. Okay. So
All right, I'm sorry, I just unmuted.
That's okay. If you'd like.
I'm sorry to keep interrupting. My computer's not working either, so.
Well, you're
no, I don't have
preaching to
anything
the
to
choir
add.
on that.
I'm here. I'm here if you need me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I want to say
Zoning-
that
Sorry, Zoning Administrator Murray, before we move on, can you close the public comment period?
I'm going to close the public comment period now. Now I'm going to weigh in. First, I do have a question. I have a question about the fencing around the perimeter, actually the front gate from Timothy Road. Is that going to be a solid fence like it is today? Or is that going to be transparent? So in off business hours, when police drive by, they can actually see into that yard?
That's a good question. Hadn't thought about that, but we'll be willing to keep that open because that is a good point. It's really better for the project to keep it open.
Yeah, you
So,
know,
yes.
I understand closing the gate at night, but I think it should be a transparent fence or gate, not that solid one that's there that was shown in the photographs.
I agree.
Perfect. I'm glad to hear that. So I'm going to say this is, as Monet pointed out in her presentation, this is an interesting area where we see light industrial and residential uses nearby. Monet, I want to make sure that the applicant has seen the proposed conditions of approval, specifically the hours of construction.
Yes, I have sent the draft resolution, and also today I sent it again. Michael has seen that. The hours are the restricted one, the one from 8 to 6, and I believe is 9 to 5 on Saturdays and nothing on Sundays. Yes, I make sure to
Perfect.
add those restricted hours.
I appreciate that very much. I've lived next door to construction, and I know what it's like to get that rude awakening on a Saturday morning. Anyways, so I started to say, I think this is such a fabulous project. It's going to improve the appearance of that in that neighborhood so much. So I have read the resolution. I agree with all of the findings. And I want to thank both the applicant for being here and accepting my one addition to the conditions of approval. If Monet, if you could add on to that the front gate will be a transparent.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I will add that
Type,
condition.
and if you could also add that the design must be approved by planning or you.
Okay.
That would be great. And
Sure.
I don't have any other comments. I think this is a very good project. I understand that the Planning Commission has approved the use, and regardless what use is in there, this is going to beautify that area very much. So I will be approving this project. Congratulations. I know it's been a long time in the works.
Thank you, Ms. Murray,
If you
and have a
can-
great day.
Thank you.
You can hear me. Thank you.
You bet. Take care, Michael. So the next item, 5.2. Wait, let me back up. I'm going to reiterate our appeal period. That design review approval will be, you can appeal it within 10 calendar days if you wish to do so. The final date of that appeal would be, that appeal period would be Monday, February 27th, because the 10th day falls on a weekend. We extend to the following business day. Now I'll move on to item 5.2, which is another public meeting. It's the Neely Edition. This project is also exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. It's a landmark alteration for the property located at 641 Oak Street. And I will hand it off to Christian Candelaria for his presentation.
Hello, good morning, Zoning Administrator Murray. I will share my screen now. Can you see that? Okay. This is the Neely Edition at 641 Oak Street. This is a minor landmark alteration permit. This is file number LMA 22-008 for 641 Oak Street. The minor landmark alteration permit is to add an additional bedroom and half bath to the house and expand the dining room by 5 feet for this. There's also going to be a total of 251 square feet, and the addition will also be matching the existing craftsman style and architectural style. I'm going to move on to the general plan and zoning. The zoning is PD 0225-H. It's in the historic Burbank Gardens Preservation District, and the general plan designation is low density residential. Here on the project, you can see the style of the home on the top left. And the other 3 photos, you can see where the addition is going to be added. They are extending the deck. You can kind of see in one of the photos. Gonna go further into the plans. It's a little difficult, but On the left is the existing and on the right will be the new addition. You can see the extension of the kitchen and the deck is being altered a bit to make room for this new addition in the back. And then you can see 2 new proposed windows on the office. These are the elevations for the addition. Now I'm going to go into the historic style and materials. They will be matching the stucco exterior and we'll be doing wood casement doors and wood frames to match the existing style. They'll also be doing 2 new windows in the office, and that will be clad wood awning style with extruded aluminum exterior. And then there's going to be a new door on the addition that will be wooden swing French doors. And the roof will be the same style as you see in the photos. The project has been reviewed for compliance with the Environmental Quality Act and qualifies for a Class 1 exemption under CEQA Guidelines Section 15301 and subsection E, and that the new proposed addition is a minor alteration of an existing private structure. And it is recommended by the Planning and Economic Development Department that the zoning administrator by resolution approve a minor landmark alteration permit LMA 22-008 for the property located at 641 Oak Street. Let me know if you have any questions. My information is here and the applicant is available if needed. Thank you.
And this time I'll ask, would the applicant like to say anything or have a brief presentation?
No, I think Christian covered it well. This is Mark Neely. Christian covered it well, and all the requirements we are more than happy to meet.
Okay, and you've seen the conditions of approval?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Okay, I'd like to take a moment and just open it up for public comment. If there's anybody out there wishing to make a comment, raise your hand, and Lonnie, I'll hand it off to you now.
You can raise your hand by selecting the Zoom icon at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you're calling in, please press *9. Zoning Administrator Murray, I don't see any hands raised at this time.
Well, I'm not surprised at that. I took a little trip around that neighborhood and wow, what a beautiful neighborhood. I think that the proposed plans.
Apologies, Zoning Administrator Murray. Can you officially close the public comment period?
Sure, I think I'm just going to give you the authority to do that. I'm going to close the public comment period and open my own comment period back up. Yes, I did a site visit. That is an absolutely beautiful neighborhood. I think that the additions that the addition that you're proposing on the back side of the house, I can see it's not even it's really not that visible. It's not visible from the public right away on the back side, and when the changes on the side are remotely visible. I think that the project, I saw this when it first came in, and I think it landed in a really good place. I have reviewed the resolution. I agree with the conditions of approval. More importantly, I agree with all the findings. Christian did a fantastic job on those. And I am not going to change anything, and I'm going to approve the project. So congratulations. I know this has been a long time coming as well, Mr. Neiman.
It is, but we appreciate the flexibility that the city has shown in working with us, and we look forward to the project being a benefit to the neighborhood. So
I think it will be. It's such a nice neighborhood.
Mhm.
That especially that section. So
yes, thank you.
Congrats.
Thank you.
And thank you, Christian.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thanks. Thank you, Christian.
Thank you.
So moving on to item 5.3, this is another public meeting, and this is for a new deck proposed on the backside of a building. This project is also exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. It's a minor design review permit for the property located at 1144 Sonoma Avenue. DR, or the city file number is DR 22-033.
All right, good morning. Let me go ahead and share my screen.
I'm sorry, I didn't announce you. And our planner is
Oh,
Suzanne
sorry.
Hartman. Take it away.
All right. To remember how to put this in present mode. There we go. All right, can you see it?
No, I can't yet.
And sorry, one moment. I'm
Don't worry a
controlling
bit.
PowerPoint on a Mac when it's not originally a Mac. All right. Do you see it now? Okay, perfect.
Yes, but you're not in presentation mode yet.
Yes, all right. And play from start. Do you hear that popping? Is that okay? Good.
Nope.
All right. Apologies. So I am Suzanne and I am the project planner for the design review permit application file number DR220-033. It is for a new wood rear deck located at 1144 Sonoma Avenue, Suite 113.
Suzanne, if I can just interject for a sec, you're still not in presentation mode. So
Oh,
we can
it's
see
in
all
the
your slides
notes.
on the left.
Gotcha. How about now?
That's okay. It's no harm.
I don't really have any notes on it.
Don't worry about it.
so.
You just keep on going. I won't interrupt anymore.
All right, sorry about that. So the project proposes to construct 127.5 square foot wood deck and to remove the existing window that's currently there at the rear and to replace it with a sliding glass door, giving access to the rear wood deck. So the application is.
I'm interrupting
or-
again.
sorry.
I need you to advance the slides. They're not advancing.
I'm not advancing. Oh, you know what? I'm
There.
wondering. No, that's not it. I'm sorry, I don't know why it's not
Don't worry.
working all the time. Just give me one moment here.
This is a technology challenged meeting. I'm the old
You
school
jinxed me,
person.
Susie.
I can't wait for the in-person meetings, so we don't have to deal with this anymore.
It's just interesting that it won't.
Suzanne, I have your presentation ready to go if you would like me to share.
We might have to do that. I apologize.
Don't
No
worry about
worries.
it.
Just let me know when it's time for the next slide.
Okay, thank you.
Lonnie, are you bringing it up?
Yes, sorry, give me a second.
That's right.
Okay, here we go. Sharing my
Thank
screen.
you.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So yes, the project site is located here right off of Sonoma Avenue, with surrounding residential and office land uses. Next slide, please. The current zoning is designated as office commercial, and the general plan land use designation is office. And again, as you can see, there's surrounded residential and office and public and institutional land uses. Next slide, please. Here are some current photos of the project site. As you can see here, it is one of many suites on that specific site. Next slide, please. Here's the proposed deck floor plan, or deck plan, I should say. And as you can see, it's essentially extending out to, there's already kind of an existing wall at the rear facade, and that's kind of where the wood deck is extending out. Next slide, please. And here is the existing and proposed rear elevations. You can see here where the sliding glass door is going to be located and where the window is being removed, as well as the better orientation of what the deck is going to look like. Next slide, please. These are the required findings for the design review permit application. Next slide, please. As well, these are also the required findings continued for the project application, and it has been determined by staff that all of the findings have been met. Next slide, please. So the project has been found in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 153, that should be 03, not 01, apologies. The project is categorically exempt from CEQA in that the project consists of construction of a small structure to an existing structure. Next slide, please. No public comments have been received at this time. And next slide, please. And it is therefore recommended by the Planning and Economic Development Department that the zoning administrator approve a minor design review permit to allow the construction of a wood deck and sliding patio door at the rear of the suite 113 located at 1144 Sonoma Avenue. Next slide is my contact information if you have any questions. I also have the applicants present if any questions arise. There is no presentation. Thank you. And thank you, Lonnie.
Thank you. And I just want to double check with the applicant that you don't have any comments, since I was rude and cut first applicant off.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Appreciate your presentation.
Yes.
Thank you.
There. And then I'm going to go ahead and open this up for public comment.
If you wish to make a public comment, you can do so by selecting the hand at the bottom of your Zoom screen. If you're calling in, please press *9. Zoning Administrator Murray, I don't see any hands raised at this time.
Well, again, I'm not surprised. I did a site visit and I pulled into the parking lot next door, and I honestly don't know why everybody in that entire building doesn't do the same thing. What a great view that's going to be. What an awesome change to that building. So I have done a site visit. I have reviewed the findings. I absolutely agree with them. Putting eyes on the creek is always a good thing for everybody. Not to mention the great view and feeling back there. So I don't have anything to add. So did I open the public comment period? Yes, I did. Did I close the public comment?
You
No.
didn't, but
Okay, I'm going to close the comment period now that you've all heard my comments. Because we didn't have anything else to respond to there, I'm going to go ahead and approve this design review as well. And thank you to the applicant for sure. And I hope your neighbors follow suit.
Well, thank you very much.
You bet. Okay, now my goal on the last item is to get my public comment period closed on time. The last item, 5.4, is yet another public meeting. It's the Montgomery Village walkthrough, relocation and modifications. This project is also exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act. It's a minor design review permit for the property located at 2406 McGowan Drive, Building C. The city file number is DR22-048. Suzanne Hartman is once again our planner, and Lonnie is operating the presentation. So take it away,
Lonnie,
Suzanne.
I did download the PDF version. I'm wondering if do we want to attempt, or are you okay with still being the slide mover?
since I have it open, excuse me, since I have it open, I don't mind sharing the slide.
Okay, thank you. All right, here we go. So this is a minor design review permit application, file number DR22-048, located at 2406 McGowan, Building C, kind of roughly Building D as well, also kind of known as Montgomery Village. Next slide, please. So the project proposes various modifications that includes relocating and widening the existing pedestrian walkthrough passageway, which will in turn create kind of a new outdoor dining experience and kind of providing a more open feel to the walkthrough. And there will also be removal of the 2 existing monument sides. There will also be some interior improvements proposed in relation to the change in size of the tenant spaces. Next slide, please. So that is the aerial view of the location of the project site. And as you can faintly tell here, you can kind of see where the pedestrian walkway is through the parking lot, and that's kind of the rough area of where it's going to be. Next slide, please. So the project site is zoned as general commercial, and the general plan land use designation is retail and medium residential. And the surrounding general land uses are a mixture of office, low residential, and public and institutional. Next slide, please. So this is a kind of a miniature version of the proposed site plan. Next slide, please. And these are the elevations. Next slide, please. And here are a couple of the perspective views of what is being proposed. As you can tell there, there's an opening of that walkthrough area, and there's no changes to the roof line as well, just to point that out. Next slide, please. And these are the required findings for the minor design review permit application. Next slide. And these are continued required findings, and it has been determined by staff that the project has the findings have been made for the application. Next slide, please. It has also been found to be in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act, pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15301. The project is categorically exempt from CEQA, and that the project involves a minor alteration to an existing structure. Next slide, please. No public comments have been received. And next slide. And therefore, it is recommended by the Planning and Economic Development Department that the zoning administrator approve a minor design review permit to allow for the relocation and widening of the existing walk-through passageway, as well as other related exterior modifications located at 2406 McGowan Drive, Building C. And the next slide is my contact information if you have any questions. There are also a couple of applicants that are on the call. They do not have a presentation, but they are available if any questions arise. Thank you.
Thank you. And I will once again ask the applicant if you have anything that you'd like to add.
Hi, this is Catherine Weatherby with WS Development. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great, thank you. Suzanne did a great job outlining the project. This is really just about relocating an existing narrow passageway through the building to better align the north-south connection across the properties, creating a little bit more space for the community to gather. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm going to open it up for public comment. Is there anybody out there? Lonnie, do we see any hands raised?
Sorry, it took me a minute to unmute myself. I do not see any hands raised at this time.
Can you, what is it, *9 for callers?
Oh, yes, apologies. If you are calling in, please press *9 to raise your hand, and then *6 to unmute yourself. And
Still
we have
don't
no
see
hands.
anybody.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to close the public comment period. 1 out of 4. I'm 25% good to go here. I have visited the site. I've actually visited the site several times because that's one of my favorite places to shop and eat. But Montgomery Village, that is. And I went by yesterday, and I think that this is yet another really great project. This agenda has been a really good agenda. So I've reviewed Suzanne's findings, and I can make every one of them. I've looked at the conditions of approval and agree with them. I'm thrilled to see this change happening. It'll provide a sheltered area to sit outside and eat, and that's a good thing. So thank you for bringing the project forward. I will be approving it as is. And I want to thank especially you, this applicant team, and anybody who came to see this portion of the agenda for your patience with our technical issues early on. I want to reiterate that any decisions made today are appealable within 10 calendar days. That falls on Monday, the 27th. That's actually the 11th day because the 10th day falls on a Sunday. So I'm going to say thank you to everybody who attended. And